All right, alongside Craig Button, a few hours ahead of the NHL draft over at the Sphere. Going to be a lot of fun over there, Craig. I can't wait to see it. Apparently, it's spectacular.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, that's the way Vegas does the draft. I can't recall a draft with this little intrigue, even at number one. I mean, it's just done. There isn't even a conversation. Normally, it's kind of like, do you think? No, it's done. So in Macklin Celebrini, what are the San Jose Sharks getting immediately?
A complete player. And Macklin is dominated as a 16-year-old in the USHL. I mean, he was the best player, top scorer. He goes to the NCAA as the youngest player, 17-year-old, and he does exactly the same thing, dominates. He gets the Hobie Baker as the best college player. When you watch Macklin Celebrini play, he doesn't have that Connor McDavid kind of get ready, something special could happen here. But what he does have, and that's why I use the word complete, it doesn't matter offensive zone, defensive zone, transition, you're playing on the power play, you're playing on the penalty kill. He's got every element of his game really fine-tuned, and that can impact the game. And I've compared him to Jonathan Toews, and like Jonathan Toews, they set a standard for how you're going to play, and then he goes out and shows you what that looks like. And if he decides to go pro and leave Boston University, he'll make an individual impact, much like Connor Bedard did this year, winning Rookie of the Year. The team is still not good enough for him to make an impact in that area, but that will come. And certainly the San Jose Sharks are banking on Macklin Celebrini leading them to more promising days.
Is there something to be said for a number one overall pick? The pressure that comes with being in that position, you know, we've seen McDavid in Edmonton, we've seen other number one picks in markets where the spotlight is at a certain temperature. Is there something about going to San Jose, and not that they're not a great hockey market, they love their team there, bit of a different fit for a number one pick, and maybe that benefits him in the early days?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think the key word there is benefits him, right? Like, so when you benefit the situation, I mean, he's going to put enough pressure on himself to perform. There's going to be eyes on him. There's going to be cameras following him and everything. But it's different in that market, and certainly having a little bit less attention on a day in, day out basis allows a player to kind of find his way a little bit easier. Not that playing in the NHL is easy, but without that, just kind of takes away a little bit of that burden that players such as Connor McDavid had to feel going to Edmonton.
So 3 Canadian teams picking in and around that top 9. Who are they going with? What are your predictions? What will it look like?
Well, I'm not changing now. I did a mock draft, and we posted.
We can't assume everybody has seen that.
No,
so
I know, but
Canadian mock here.
No, but I'm saying that I'm not changing my mind. I see mock drafts change by the minute. I don't know what's going to happen. The NHL teams don't know what's going to happen. Here's what I would suggest if I was the manager for the 3 Canadian teams picking 5, 7, and 9, starting with the Montreal Canadiens. If TJ Ginla is there, I'm taking TJ Ginla. Like his dad, a real powerhouse competitor, somebody that wants to make a difference. Not a lot of flash and dash, but real substance. Montreal's all about winning, so is Tej. At 7, I think Zane Parekh would be an excellent pick for the Ottawa Senators. A right shot offensive wizard with the puck. Conjures up images of Erik Karlsson. And at number 9, the Calgary Flames, they are now in full rebuild mode. So everything they're doing is just trying to build out a roster and select players. I think the big 6'7" Russian unicorn Anton Salayev, who's an elite skater like Hedman, doesn't have the offense, but he's territorial and physical, would be a nice fit for the Flames.
Okay, I'm going to push you a little bit on a juicy angle with the Calgary Flames, right? So Craig Conroy had his media availability yesterday. I was like a woodpecker at the side of his head asking, like, what if Iginla's there? Are you willing to trade up for that storyline? Is it something that you should be trying aggressively to do? If you were in management for the Calgary Flames and Jerome Iginla's son is there and he's available, you got the whole family history, the whole Iginla and the Flaming Sea, there's that whole angle that your marketing department will love. You just sung his praises big time in terms of what you can do on the ice. How hard would you be trying to hop up far enough to add that to the organization?
Well, there's nothing wrong. You got to rank your players and rate your players and evaluate them accordingly. If you really want a player, you make the efforts to try to move up. But at the same time, you can't just do it for PR. I mean, it's automatic PR. There's no question about it if you're drafting TJ Ginla. But what they have to do, and they have to stay disciplined in this regard, is knowing how they've done the work over the course of the year and populating their list and then going from there. And even if Tej is there at 9, again, you might be tempted to do the PR. If they think he's the best player there at 9, and you understand what everything is going to be surrounding him becoming a Calgary Flame, take him. But if you don't think he's the best player at 9, you're going to have to pass him up and let somebody else take him, knowing that if he does turn out to be as good as I think he'll be, that the backlash could be pretty significant.
How will that work with Jerome at the draft table? Does he just sort of have to push back and kind of... will it be awkward?
I do not know what's going to happen, but if I was Craig Conroy, what I would suggest to Jerome Igla, you're sitting with your son until his name is called. You're not at our table. You're going to be the father here, and you're going to celebrate with your son being drafted into the NHL.
I think you're bang on that one. Montreal Canadiens have already been movers and shakers. Make a trade, get up to number 21. Couple that with number 5. Should be interesting to see what the Habs get up to here on draft day.